With this video, I want to show you how to create a cam for an offset follower. I'm looking at the drawing that we did a couple of videos ago for just uniform velocity motion on a cam that includes a knife follower. And knife followers are just easy to use to demonstrate as we're getting used to this stuff. Now what I'm going to do is show you how to uh, um, create a cam based on a roller follower, with that roller follower not being necessarily directly above the shaft that is going to be used to turn the cam. I've added I've added a shaft and a key and a hub just to kind of keep it in line with the way the book does all of its diagrams. So um, I'll go over to a new diagram that I've done, and we'll just diagram this with uniform velocity. Doesn't really matter how we create these offsets. The fact is that we are no longer going to be offsetting or lengthening this line to pull the follower away, because the follower is not going to be right here. We're going to end up, let's imagine drawing or having a follower that is offset 1 unit from the center. So we'll move this whole roller follower geometry to that 1 unit away from center and still along the base circle. But again, now what we're going to do is not lengthen these lines. We're going to create a brand new um, uh, circle called an offset circle, which conveniently enough seems to kind of line up with the hub that I've drawn. Just for cleanliness' sake, I'm going to delete this hub for right now. And I'm going to draw a new, what we would call a offset circle. And I'll do this, let's see. Yeah, I'll do this on the folding line layer. So I got a nice dark line weight to deal with. And I'll draw a circle centered here that passes through this new offset circle. And we're staying tangent with that. And it's really this line that we're going to be lengthening based off of our displacement diagram. So the first thing I'm going to do is trim with our old base circle, well, new base circle also, but trim off that line with the base circle. And just to keep things easily understood, again, we're not going to be working with these lines at all. They were what we used with a knife follower that was centered over the shaft. We're going to use a different line, or we're going to use a different edge to be lengthened. And I'm going to just put that on the same layer as this, and that's the line that will lengthen. So first thing I'm going to do is imagine, again, this is where it is when we're at rest or before we start rolling the cam, and every 30 degrees, we're going to have this in a new position. So to map out those locations, I'll use the array command, and I will array that object just like we did before, 12 times around that center point. And we'll close that up. And now it's these lines that are going to get lengthened by that much. And because we don't have a centered circle that we can keep offsetting and extending to, we've got to lengthen this line, and we can use the lengthen command to do that. So I'll grab my lengthen command. LEN is a shortcut for that. And I will lengthen by a total, or excuse me, by a delta amount. And that delta amount is going to be right here. So I'm going to be adding that amount to this line. And that's my lengthen. Now I've got to do that essentially 12 more times. So I will lengthen, delta, right here, right there, and lengthen that, and I'm done. Now, rather than let you or force you to watch me to do that 10 more times, I've written a little program, a little Lisp routine that will automatically lengthen that a certain amount. It'll just prompt me for the offset distance and pick the object to change, and it'll automatically apply that. Plus, it'll let me know where I'm at along the sequence of lines. So I'll kind of zoom out and move away here. There we go. And I'll use my little routine that I named LL. It's just a brand new command I just made for lengthening a line. And I know I did the first two already, so now I'll do the third one. There we go. And I'll lengthen the third one. And it keeps track of where I just got done doing too. I'll hit enter to repeat my LL command. And just a little bit quicker than using that lengthen command and having to choose the options and having to repick distances, possibly losing track. I use those circles to help me keep track of which ones I've done, which ones I haven't done. Just a couple more. And then we would be back to there. And we're all done. And now we just, use our spline command to go ahead and connect all those endpoints and map out our cam profile. So I'll switch back to the object layer. I'll zoom in here. I'll type in SPL and I'll pick this. And just to keep things normal, I will correct my start tangency, kind of go off, kind of towards there. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. That's close to, maybe it's best. Nope, I want to go in this direction. So I'm just locking into an angle roughly in the direction that I'm going to be moving with my cam profile. And I'll just keep snapping to the endpoints of each of these lines, creating my cam profile. And then when we get to the end, we will adjust that end tangency. In a similar direction. That endpoint, there we go. And then I will adjust my end tangency in that same general direction. What was I at, 135? Yeah, like that. And now that's nice and smooth where we take off and nice and smooth where we come in. If I zoom out, there's roughly what my cam profile, no, not roughly, exactly what it looks like, but that's through the base circle offset. We really need the cam to be tangent to this edge. So I'm going to offset based on that radius. I can't remember what the radius was of my cam follower, so I will just pick a point and pick the center. I'll show it what the radius is, and then offset this object towards the inside, and there is my cam follower, and that's nice and tangent to there. I'll pick this and put this on construction layer. Whoop. And there's that cam follower. If I froze my folding line layer, it's a little easier to look at. Again, because we used, even with this type of a follower, because we used uniform velocity, it is pretty harsh at the beginning and it's pretty harsh when it gets out to the outside. All of this stuff smooths out as we go progressively through those different types of motions that we can apply to cams.